Just 4 days before the 2004 presidential election in the USA, news channels were airing a videotape of Osama bin Laden.
We get a glimpse of the world's most wanted
$25 million bounty on his head.
This was a very important election in American history. The election candidates, George Bush and John Kerry, were both running their campaigns with the promise that upon coming to power, they would take revenge on Osama bin Laden for the 9/11 attacks. In the videotape broadcasted by Al Jazeera, Osama bin Laden could be seen in a very healthy condition, accepting responsibility for the 9/11 attacks in a more direct manner than before. The purpose of this video recording was to show the whole world, especially America, that the world's most wanted man was still managing to keep himself completely safe. At the same time, while Osama bin Laden's videotape was causing a stir in America, almost every lead of the special task force created by the CIA to capture bin Laden had gone cold. This situation was very troubling for the CIA because the same Osama bin Laden, who was practically singing songs of his success in the videotape today, was very close to being captured by the CIA 3 years earlier. Just 1 month after the 9/11 attacks, the USA invaded Afghanistan and pushed al-Qaeda fighters into the eastern part of the country. Here, al-Qaeda fighters fortified themselves in the Tora Bora caves, and the CIA believed that Osama bin Laden was also hiding there. With the help of local Afghans, the American army fought a fierce battle against al-Qaeda in Tora Bora. However, when they did not achieve success, they decided to conduct heavy airstrikes. By the time the American army won the battle, bin Laden had already escaped. After the fighting ended, only 10 people were captured, and the CIA missed its first golden opportunity to capture Osama bin Laden. The CIA did not know that among the 10 people captured, one individual would pave the way to finding bin Laden. This person was Mohammed al-Qahtani, who, before being captured, was a completely unknown name to the CIA. He denied any connection to al-Qaeda and claimed that he was in Afghanistan for falcon hunting. However, when the CIA recorded his fingerprints, they matched those in their system. Just a few weeks before the 9/11 attacks, a man had tried to enter the United States at Orlando International Airport. He had $2,800 in cash and a one-way ticket. A customs agent, suspicious of this man, denied him entry into the USA and sent him back. This person was none other than al-Qahtani, who was later captured in the Tora Bora caves and whose fingerprints were already recorded in the CIA's system. The CIA had another reason to connect Mohammed al-Qahtani with al-Qaeda. On the exact day and time when he tried to enter the USA, a call was made from a phone booth at Orlando Airport to an al-Qaeda telephone number in the UAE. Because al-Qahtani was at the airport at that time, the CIA suspected that the call was made by someone who had come to receive al-Qahtani, meaning his associate. Besides the phone call, the FBI also found an abandoned car in the Orlando Airport parking lot on the same day. This car had been rented by Mohammed Atta, the same Mohammed Atta who crashed American Airlines Flight 11 into the North Tower of the World Trade Center during the 9/11 attacks. All these incidents had some connection with Mohammed al-Qahtani. The investigation team concluded that al-Qahtani was also supposed to participate in the 9/11 attacks by hijacking United Airlines Flight 93. The flight that did not complete its mission during 9/11 and crashed in Pennsylvania when passengers were trying to regain control of the plane. After all this investigation and connecting the dots, Mohammed al-Qahtani was interrogated once again, and this time, he revealed his connection with al-Qaeda. 3 months later, in March 2002, another al-Qaeda member named Abu Zubaydah was captured, who was responsible for supplying various materials to the group. He helped the CIA capture Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and a year later, he was also captured. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was the al-Qaeda commander who planned the 9/11 attacks. Mohammed al-Qahtani told the CIA that just 2 months before the 9/11 attacks in July 2001, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed introduced him to a person who was a new name to the CIA at that time. Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, who was responsible for training al-Qahtani, was providing information that helped the CIA understand al-Qaeda's structure, but it was not enough to reach Osama bin Laden. The CIA tried everything possible, but not only were they unable to reach bin Laden, they could not even find any information about him. They kept an eye on his family members, but none of them had any contact with bin Laden. The CIA only knew that wherever bin Laden was, he was sending messages from there. In the following years, Osama bin Laden's audio tapes were released, and it was believed that he was not just in contact with al-Qaeda's leadership. The CIA's strategy now was to track al-Qaeda's courier network, the people who carried messages from bin Laden to other al-Qaeda leaders. In January 2004, Pakistani security forces arrested a man named Hassan Gul, who was later revealed to be a close associate of Osama bin Laden. Hassan Gul was handed over to the CIA, where he revealed crucial information during interrogation. He said that Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti was bin Laden's personal courier. Yes, the same Abu Ahmed who had met Mohammed al-Qahtani in Kuwait. Now the entire focus of the investigation shifted to Abu Ahmed. The investigation team started getting different pieces of information about his role within al-Qaeda. According to Hassan Gul, Abu Ahmed had a significant role, while Khalid Sheikh Mohammed claimed that Abu Ahmed did not have a major role and was actually a retired member. The next year, in 2005, Abu Faraj al-Libi was also captured. He was the commander of al-Qaeda after Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. He also denied that Abu Ahmed had a major role. The CIA had interrogated many al-Qaeda members, and they all had mixed opinions about Abu Ahmed. The CIA had no concrete information about Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti except for his name, and interestingly, that wasn't even his real name. The name meant Ahmed's father from Kuwait. It should be noted that the information given by al-Qaeda members so far wasn't obtained through simple interrogation, but through dangerous techniques, including various forms of torture. For the next 2 years, the CIA tried hard, but they couldn't find any trace of Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti or Osama bin Laden. The next piece of information came from another intelligence agency. In 2007, the CIA received information about Abu Ahmed's true identity, which did not come from their network. The information revealed that Abu Ahmed's real name was Ibrahim Saeed Ahmed, and he was a Pakistani whose family had moved to Kuwait. It had taken them 2 years just to discover his real name, but it would take a few more years to capture him. The CIA focused all its efforts on tracking Ibrahim Saeed, also known as Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. They began tapping all calls coming to Pakistan from Kuwait and other Middle Eastern countries, hoping to place Abu Ahmed. After monitoring millions of phone calls and waiting for 3 years, in June 2010, they finally got suspicious about a phone call. The people were speaking in Arabic and Pashto, and during the conversation, the person in Pakistan responded to a question by saying, "I am with the same people I was with before." This was the statement that made the CIA suspect that this was Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. Additionally, this person in Pakistan was making every possible effort to avoid being tracked. His mobile would be on for only a few minutes before being turned off again, and it only turned on when he went to Peshawar. These actions convinced the investigation team that this was indeed Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. Ground-level surveillance was now initiated. In August 2010, a Pakistani CIA agent was assigned this task. First, he identified Abu Ahmed in Peshawar and started following him. After several hours of driving, Abu Ahmed went into his house. The CIA had now identified Abu Ahmed's house, but this time they didn't want to make any mistakes. They started watching him secretly, as Abu Ahmed could lead the CIA to Osama bin Laden's hideout. After several days passed without Abu Ahmed going to any place where bin Laden could be, the CIA began to suspect that bin Laden might not be somewhere else, but rather living in the same compound with Abu Ahmed. Although the U.S. was not yet 100% certain, the person they had been searching for the past 10 years might be right here. At this point, the intelligence agency's work was done, and a special unit was assigned the mission to raid the house. On the night of May 1, 2011, at 11 p.m., 2 Black Hawk helicopters took off from Jalalabad airfield in Afghanistan and headed towards bin Laden's compound in Abbottabad. This mission was highly sensitive because firstly, the United States had not informed Pakistan about it, and secondly, bin Laden's compound was very close to the Pakistani military academy. For this reason, the special helicopters used were equipped with secret stealth technology, meaning they wouldn't appear on Pakistani radars. This operation was planned to last for 40 minutes, but the Navy SEALs killed Osama bin Laden within the first 15 minutes. The remaining time was spent fighting bin Laden's guards, and after a total of 38 minutes, they exited the compound. On their way out, one helicopter crashed on Pakistani soil and was unable to take off. As a result, they first destroyed this helicopter and then transported Osama bin Laden's body back in the other helicopter. According to U.S. officials, Osama bin Laden's body was buried at sea in the Arabian Sea within 24 hours, with permission from Saudi Arabia.